Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Blackout TV. Today we got a match for you. But I am not alone. With me is the wonderful, the guy with the many names. It's Magic Killer Cow, it's Smileyface, and Hayden.
Hello. We are watching Division 1 Week 1 of the Wireplay tournament. This is Sookie Doin versus After Dark, a match that I've really been wanting to watch for a while now.
Yeah, Sookie Doin Work, not a bad team by any stretch of the imagination. In fact, they won the last Highlander season. If I remember correctly, I think they did, because they certainly kicked our team's ass, and they're fairly good at spy, man. Sookie Doin Work, of course, being their spy, being a very, very talented one indeed, so we will be seeing a lot of stabs. Hopefully, unless the enemy medic just at any point in time just checks his back.
I mean, Sookie Doin Work, definitely the most favourable team to win this match. Of course, I'm very interested just to kind of see how this goes. Not too sure too much about After Dark. I know Bones is actually one of the admins of Wireplay, and that's about all I know. So hopefully this will be a good match. Hopefully we'll see some interesting plays, and hopefully we'll have fun casting. Yeah,
and speaking of interesting, I'm trying to find it right now. Is it Bones? Yes, Bones. Ladies and gentlemen, a guy with a community rocket launcher. Oh, look at that. It has sparkles and all that stuff. I am jelly.
That's definitely going to be putting After Dark at a massive advantage.
Well, they will see him coming miles away. They'll be like, oh no, that's the soldier, and he's sparkling. Is there vampires in this? And they look at each other, and as we have a very terrible, Twilight reference. For those who enjoy that, I guess.
But we do see all 18 players ready in the team, so hopefully we'll be going live soon, and we'll get some awesome match underway.
And for anybody wondering, this is of course Highlander, 9v9, one of each class, and we're going to be playing on a map that looks familiar to Viaduct. In fact, it is Viaduct, only with a few changes for competitive play, because it's summer themed, which makes it easier for those who are a bit colorblind on blue and white to see blue players in the snow, and that was kind of the whole idea of making this map. There's also this little pathway on the side here, makes it a lot easier to flank. Of course, this map not being the most scout friendly, I can just tell you that, having played scout on this map myself. It's really hard to get across, especially with the pyros and heavies, and mini-singers for the most part just continuously keep shutting you down, so not easy to play. But can you guess what classes are good on this map?
Engineer, holy crap. As an engineer main, I can speak for every engineer out there that this is just like a field day for us, just throwing down that mini-sentry and just going for a bit of a walk. Like, it's such a brilliant map for engineer, and there are a lot of classes that have a lot of like movability, but then there are classes that are pretty restricted. Sniper is a good one, just sniping up from that cliff and getting nice.
Dude, I'm a main sniper, I know this. I can like, for people on the stream while they're waiting for the game to start, let's see, do we have, yes, we have outlines, excellent. Usually you see snipers hang around on this spot, it's pretty good, but there's like this little spot here. If you stand on top of this little ledge here, you actually get a good sight line of like the middle point and the left-hand side, and it's not really risky, and it's fairly good, so we usually see snipers using that. On the original map, Viaduct, you're able to jump up top here on this little thing, and you get like massive sight lines. So that's a part of the thing they also buffed in this version. The sight lines are not so long, giving the sniper not so much advantage, but it's still really sniper friendly.
Yeah, I mean, the pro version of Viaduct, and we have seen the pro version of Barn Blitz as well. Both maps that just kind of, make a few little tweaks, remove that snow, add a few little things, fix a few things really that could be used at an advantage, and yeah, it should be kind of interesting just to see. You don't really see the standard Viaduct played competitively, and the Pro Viaduct definitely does speed things up a bit with that little kind of passageway at the side.
Yeah, so currently there's one player missing for Sookie Doin Work right now.
Yeah, it just seems to be people joining, and then
are waiting for their pyro. Of course, pyros being always late to the party, and because they can't talk in a way we understand, we never know why. I mean, you're on the phone with the pyro, and he just goes, and you have no idea what he's saying. And you're just like, okay, just get here when you can, bro.
Of course, we don't want to be waiting too long. We don't want him to get here when he wants to. We have to get here on time, work as a team, and get some awesome matches on the play.
But he scares me. So, of course, it's going to be an interesting match. We're going to be seeing if Sookie is not being spotted and called out, if there is a lot of jam on their communications devices, mainly Mumble, if there's a lot of anger and venting going on, it's going to play in the spy's favor, and a lot of teams don't really think about this. Like, if you can cause somebody to rage on the enemy team to, like, cluster up the comms, it's going to be so easy for the spy, because the voices are usually louder than the in-game voice noise, so you can't hear the spy decloak, and you just die, and you get more upset and even louder. Thus giving the spy more advantage. So by the end, the spy is just killing everybody, because nobody can hear anything.
Yeah, and especially with a Highlander, I mean, 6 is the comms aren't as cluttered because there is 3 less people, but with Highlander there's 9 people all trying to get what they need to say into this mumble room.
There's
9 different classes doing 9 different roles. It's insane. And, you know, playing Highlander with cluttered comms, it's really painful.
Yeah. That's like one thing about Highlander teams in general, is that getting that communications down, because that's really, really good. From my experience, what I have noticed that you don't really need to call is things that's related to, like, if you kill the scout or you kill the soldier, there's like no real significance of calling that, really.
Yeah.
But everything else is like worth calling, but sometimes you don't need to because people see it anyway, and yeah, stuff like that.
Yeah, and do you have any like real predictions for this match? Like, is anybody you're favouring for?
I think Sookie Doin is going to win because I played against them and they're just really, really good.
Yeah, they are a very strong team. What does the stream think? Is there any kind of predictions coming in from the stream chat? There's like a 30-second delay, so we'll just wait for a little bit.
Yeah, that's
it'll be nice to see what the viewers.
As per usual. Some swear words, some bans, but generally we're going to get some predictions. I think it's pretty much favoring Sookie Doin work here. So what is this Wireplay tournament? I've heard of the UGC and I've heard of the ETF2L. What is this Wireplay things that we are suddenly covering?
Well, it's just like any other competition, really. Highlander 9v9. And it's interesting. I mean, we do see a wide variety of different teams. We've seen UGC and we see ETF12, but Wireplay, it's kind of... It doesn't get as much coverage as I kind of would hope. You don't get medals for it, I think, is why some teams don't play Wireplay as much. But, I mean, it kind of sucks that there isn't much Wireplay coverage, because there are some decent teams in there. But Russian did just say that we should be going live just about now. So we should just be waiting for the little STV delay.
Yeah, of course, that is 90 seconds, so we are actually in the past, while the other team is in the future, speaking STV-wise, pretty much. So, yeah.
Oh, we did get a prediction for After Dark to win.
After Dark, well, we'll just have to see. You know, we have seen surprises in the Highlander scene just recently, without having to spoil anything. Some really good players got beaten by somebody who wasn't supposed to be as good, and who knows, we might get some surprises. They might have been practicing really hard, you know, they might be like that champion that comes up from the gutter and just cleans up the UGC Platinum team, and we are currently live here on Blackout TV. I am High GPS, with me is Smiley Face, Hayden, Kill a Cow, Magic the Guy.
We are seeing some King of the Hill Pro Viaduct gameplay. Sookie Doin work versus After Dark. We see both teams getting to the mid-fight pretty, you know, kind of around the same time. Both heavies just kind of sitting behind this rock, trying to stop from those bombing soldiers to try get in. We do see Sookie trying to go straight round, trying to get a bit of work done, but he does get found by the Pyro, and he is probably going to be taken out pretty quickly now.
Yeah, and the Pyro, instead of just burning Sookie, actually decided to use the shotgun, and Sookie just gunned him down, and then he burned to the fire eventually. So a bit of a mistake of the Pyro there. If you see a spy as a Pyro, you should just burn him until he dies. No need for that air blast thing. But that's usually a habit a lot of Pyros pick up, especially in Highlander, because you usually compression blast everything. Not necessarily the spy, though. So a bit of a weaker opening there, but Sookie is back currently on his cam. We
did just see the After Dark spy just walking into their entire team and getting absolutely mauled with stickies. Right at that mid-fight, though, we saw After Dark take it pretty nicely, with just the engineer managing to survive for Sookie Doin work.
Yeah, Sookie actually looked at the medic, and the medic got so scared that he just popped the Uber there. So Sookie Doin work actually not holding the point yet, as After Dark has held it for almost a minute.
You know, we see Train get a nice headshot off on Sookie Doin works heavy. That does mean that, you know, some of the power classes will have to take some time to respawn, and it does seem like After Dark are putting a nice defense up right now. You know, Sookie Doin work not really being able to try to do anything, or not being able to push out from around their spawn area The Demo Man for Sookie Doin work going down as well, and a lot of damage is being dealt to some of the players for Sookie Doin work. The Heavy Medic combo is trying to push up through main right now, but they do get flanked by the Demo Man, and that is Muffins. Sookie Doin works Medic going down, and just 3 players for Sookie Doin work going down.
Just look at this forward hold, man. Wow, like, After Dark is really on Sookie Doin Works' side of the map here, and they held it for quite a while. Look at all the time they have on that point. Finally now, Sookie Doin Works' team is finally being able to put some pressure on the point, and will most likely cap this. But that was just an excellent hold there with the demo and the scout really just flanking. So let's see if they're able to do this again. We see Sookie Doin Work just hanging out. Their combo is behind the rock. Mini sentry up in the front, just going to go down fairly quickly as Sookie doesn't get the stab, because I guess they're really wary of him, because he's kind of famous for being like doing all the work because it's in his team name.
Yeah, and we do see like some of his videos coming up on YouTube, and you do see how good of a spy he really is. Probably like the second Stabby, and people kind of are wary about that. But we do see a lot of Sookie Doin Works' team going down right there, just 2 players surviving, whilst After Dark push back onto the point.
Yeah, and After Dark really showing their dominance here. They really got their positioning down. We have a dome in. They're going to camp. He's going to camp the teleporter. If anyone is dumb enough to go through that thing, it's probably going to be Issen, because he's the only one that isn't up. But oh, no, he just detonated it anyway. Sookie Doin Work close to the Demo Man and gets him. That's a nice pick. Actually, that's the best pick you can get on Viaduct, because Demo Man is the best damage-dealing class on this map just because of the layout and the way sticky traps and all that work.
Yeah, and we do see a lot of After Dark very damaged right now. This does give SDW a great opportunity just to kind of get back on this point, you know, make sure they put some time on. They really do need to kind of make a forward hold and make it work. With just 30 seconds left on the clock for After Dark to win, it will be a pretty close game if they do manage to capture it back.
So I'm trying to find Sookie. There he is, I think. Oh.
Nice reflect by Quell right there, killing Beach, the Demo Man. It was a very nice pill reflect, and we do see Sookie doing some work actually on the Engineer's dispensers and the mini sentry.
Yeah, so Sookie's been spotted again, I think, and he has the AppSap, of course, which is very cool. And well, I don't have it.
You have to bring a bit of Wheatley into Team Fortress too.
And oh wow, Sookie just taking down their heavy, decloaking right behind him, in fact. And that means if Sookie can do that once, he'll probably do it again, and that means he like the heavy can't hear him because the comms are probably too loud. So that is really good for Sookie and really bad for the enemy heavy.
Yeah, we do see Demi GPS, Sookie Doin Works Demo Man, just stood on top of that cliff. He got like 4 or 5 kills right there, just spamming those stickies, taking out like the demo and everything, and that did force the medic back over to spawn. Both Ubers are around equal though, and we do see the Uber coming in for Sookie Doin Work, and we do see the counter Uber coming back from Sookie Doin Work. Actually, After Dark was pushing onto the point, sorry, and the air blasts from AD's Pyro actually does stop Sookie Doin Work's medic from being able to survive. Sookie Doin Work looking very damaged right now, and AD looking very confident at holding this for the next 20 seconds.
Yeah, Sookie being behind enemy lines, you know where the spies are usually supposed to be, just zaps a mini sentry, doesn't really get anything done, because as a spy you need that distraction from your team, and if you don't have that distraction you can't really do all that much, because they will see you and then they'll just kill you. And we have, wow, After Dark's scout, he is just all over the place. He does not fear death.
Yeah, but we do see a little last-minute push coming in from Sookie Doin Work, but it does seem like After Dark can just clear it up very nicely, and that is going to be the first round of King of the Hill Pro Viaduct going to After Dark.
Let's watch the guy with the GPS in his name, because I like that name. That was pretty good. There we go. Dempsey, the guy from Sookie Doin Work, a very talented demo. We're going to watch his rollout and see what he does. He gets on the point almost at the same time as the other guy, the other demo, and then a false backing after taking some damage. So, a very nice little rollout there. We have the soldier bombing in, actually taking down Quantum Plumber. That is the enemy team. That is After Dark's medic, actually, so that's a very nice bomb indeed.
Yeah, and there was a nice exchange of some stickies and some pipes right there, and it does seem like Sookie Doin Work did come out on top with this mid-fight. A lot of After Dark, only 4 of them up, actually. They did get pressured back very nicely. Quell, yes. Amazing reflect right there, killing Bones, and that is going to be the mid-fight and the mid-point right at the start of this round for Sookie Doin Work.
So it seems like Sookie Doin Work really just warming up here, coming a lot stronger out on the second round here. If we take a look at the scores, we can see they're slightly favoring After Dark at the moment, but that is sure to change as we see a very dominant play here. Demo Man goes down for Sookie Doin work, though. Dempsey doesn't survive that scout, so that is going to be quite a big deal if After Dark can capitalize on this. They have a soldier bombing in, actually hitting the beam there, so didn't quite do all that much, and then he dies. Not the best of bombs.
We do see a tiny bit of an advantage for Sookie Doin work right now, but I don't think they're really going to act upon it. After Dark, feeling confident they got that Uber, and they are going to be probably trying to push onto this point right now because they probably can do it. They do use the Uber, though. We do see both Ubers being popped, a bit of nice air blasting going around, and the Heavy just walking around that Pyro. But he, After Dark is going to have to fall out of this, and that push just wasn't enough. And that does mean that Sookie Doin work will be able to hold this point a lot longer than maybe After Dark would have really wanted to.
Yeah, Airfix goes down, and that's their Heavy for Sookie Doin work there, so that's a damage-dealing class that's no longer in the picture, as After Dark in the red have their Heavy still alive, so they can actually walk up there with that extra damage. It depends on which Demo falls down first, and actually Dempsey goes down first, so now both Heavy and Demo alive for After Dark, and this is a golden opportunity for them to push. They have the superior firepower. Here they come.
Yeah, it's just kind of if they act upon it and how they're going to go about it. We do see Sookie Doin work are taking a lot of damage right there. It did seem like they could have possibly pushed. They have the medic, and After Dark don't, but the Pyro is going to come in and try pressure Muffins, the medic for Sookie Doin work, but it just wasn't enough, and After Dark are going to be able to grab this point for the first time this round. And maybe try and make some plays, but there is about 100% advantage for Muffins, Sookie Doin work's medic, so I mean they could even use the Uber. That is the Uber being popped for Sookie Doin work. We are going to see the Heavy jumping onto point here, trying to just deal a lot of damage and see what can get done, and it does seem like Sookie Doin work are quickly going to be able to grab this point back.
Yeah, and Sookie Doin work actually behind the enemy medic right now, and he gets the stab on Quantum. Literally,
that was a very nice pick.
Cloaks right behind him. Medic doesn't hear it, so I guess the comms are allowed. And like we said before the game, really playing into Sookie's favor right now, so he's just playing off of that.
Yeah, I mean, Sookie, as we said, is a very recognizable and known spy, and people just kind of understand that he has the skills and that he is going to be using them. But we do see a lot of damage going on too After Dark right now. We do see a nice headshot onto Black Bob, the After Dark Heavy right there, so that does mean that Sookie Doin work still keeping that advantage. They do have about a 20% advantage in the Uber scenario, but that doesn't seem to be too much of an advantage. It probably won't come into play too much. With just about 30 seconds left on the clock for Sookie Doin work to hold this, they should be able to do it. After Dark still taking a lot of pressure and a lot of damage.
Yeah, and their soldier and Sookie is actually all the way in their spawn, and Sookie unfortunately doesn't get the spawn stab on the medic because he gets forced out. But that they were really overextending. There are only 10 seconds left though. Will it pay off? Let's see. Here comes the After Dark Armada running up here onto the point. They've got crits here coming in on their Demo Man. Dealing a lot of damage.
That is a lot of damage. Sookie Doin work just dying and dropping like flies. That is After Dark capping the point again.
Dempsey with the triple kill there without crits. He's like, you know, this is how you... Whoa, and Limp kills himself with the fall damage there. And that's unfortunate. But, yeah, you don't need crits to kick ass, apparently.
We did see a lot of Sookie Doin work taking a lot of damage, but then they just pulled it back, started dealing a lot of damage to After Dark, and it's going to be one of the rounds to Sookie Doin work.
And if you take a quick look at the points here, we're seeing that Sookie Doin work actually catching up here quite nicely. However, the classes are a bit differently positioned. We see the Demo Man Dempsey, he's just wrecking the place right now. And Quantum Plumber on that crit streak.
Yeah, we do see Dempsey on 2 health right at the start there, just not being able to dispense any kind of damage just because of how high he got thrown up in the air. And it does seem like we are just going to see a bit of damage going on over to AD. Dempsey again, as I said, just dealing a bit of damage right now. He regained his health and has been able to spam out the medic and the Heavy. The Heavy goes down. Nice stickies from Dempsey. And it does look like Dempsey is going to be trying to jump over, try to deal some damage to the medic, but it just isn't enough. And that's going to be the mid-fight to Sookie Doin work, and the medic for After Dark did go down, so that is about 100% Uber advantage.
Yeah, so Sookie Doin work saying that, alright, the first round was just a warm-up, let's like take the gloves off and really like start to put on some pressure, and that's what we're seeing now. And that's how they like to play, I guess. That's how it was when I played against them last time. We started out and we were like, yeah, we can take this, and then at the end Sookie Doin work's like, no, you can't take this. We can take this. We're just kidding with you. We're giving you false hope and then crushing your dreams, man.
That is just some legit psychology tactics, but we do see an actual crits Krieg from After Dark, which is kind of an odd choice, you know, against that 100% Uber and the invincibility Uber. But that Uber, I don't think it really killed anybody. I think it just kind of scared people away, and it did let them hold this point for a little longer, which is all it's really about. We do see somebody actually trying to get on the point, but he does get taken down pretty quickly. We see Sookie just kind of sat behind. Will he be able to get anybody? He gets the pyro, he gets the medic. Oh no, he just stabbed a bit into the face of the medic, but it didn't manage to kill him, and that is Sookie going to be going down. And 100% Uber for the crits Krieg for After Dark right now.
They really need to chain this and stay alive and kill the enemy medic with this crits Krieg, and it doesn't look like they're going to do this. This was more of a positional crits. They killed Quell and they killed the Engineer, and that was it. Not the best of picks. However, Engineer with that time-stalling device of him called Gunslinger Mini-Sentry, also known as really, really broken and really annoying by most of the community, also went down there.
Yeah, and we do see the soldier for After Dark, I believe it was, trying to get him overextended a bit, try and get that medic, but it just didn't work. The medic did get down to a very low amount of health, but it just wasn't enough. And even though After Dark are losing a lot of members, their medic has only just respawned. Oh, and Sookie gets a stab just out of spawn on After Dark's medic. That is an incredible pick, and that is going to delay After Dark even more. 100% Uber for Sookie doing work right now.
And a counter caber on Muffins from the enemy demo. So both teams having no medic right now, so nice picks there.
Was that a med drop?
Yeah, that was a drop with a caber. It just said boom and he was no more.
Yeah, it's the most effective way. We do see After Dark pushing back onto this point now and just scaring Sookie doing work. A lot of players are down for both teams, but After Dark just did have that bit of an advantage and they used that effectively.
And if I was After Dark, I'll just turn my game volume up so I could hear Sookie decloak. That's what I would do, man. He just keeps getting those kills.
Yeah, Sookie just farming on those backstabs, you know, just finding any kind of pick he can take, and he is going to use it because that's what Spy's all about, isn't it?
Getting backstabs, yeah, and being really, really French, I guess.
But we do see a lot of players from After Dark actually going down. The Demo, the Engineer, and the Scout. Three classes are going to be very useful. Probably not the Scout so much, but the Demo and the Engineer are definitely power classes and kind of damage dealing classes on this map. And since they did go down, there is also 30% Uber for the medic for Sookie doing work, which does mean that Sookie doing work should be able to hold this point a little bit longer. I think After Dark's medic did switch back to stock medigun. Yes, he did. So we do have two invincibility Ubers running at the same time.
Yeah, and Sookie doing work is just going to sit and wait this, and it's all going to come down to if this Spy can get the medic pick. He is in position. I think, it's been called out. He used the Spicicle. The Pyro is on him. They know he's there, so his element of surprise is gone. So here comes the early pop from After Dark here, and the counter pop. So let's see here if the Pyro is able to separate anything. Nope, Red Pyro not even close to being where he needs to be, and that was kind of a failed push, unless they can capitalize it both. Oh man.
Down.
Medic and Heavy down. They have medic. Their medic is still alive. They have infinite heals, so just need to keep him alive. He's checking his back. Don't want that stab. Soldier comes in. The medic is all alone. The soldier doesn't kill the medic, but that's fine. He's going to engage the other soldier here, and he eventually goes down. To the soldier with a sparkly rocket launcher, even though he killed him with a shotgun. And then he dies to another demo man. People just dying left and right here. People just hurling themselves at the point. And with 1 minute and 40 seconds to go, we have After Dark taking the point here. And it looks like they're going to go for a really forward hold here on this bridge here. And this, what do you call, like the high ground, the hill. This is really hard to hold unless you're just two people and the entire enemy team just swarms you, which is what we're going to be seeing not happening because they're going to go on the other side here.
We do see After Dark still trying to hold up on this cliff, you know, trying to do a bit of damage. The Uber was kind of
Engineer forces a pop on the Heavy. That's a first.
It's not something you see very often, but it does seem like After Dark are going to be trying to push as far into Sookie doing work as they can, but the medic for After Dark does go down as well. The Heavy and the Demo all go down, while Sookie doing work doesn't have that many players either, so I mean, this could still go either way.
He's in spawn again, man. He's in spawn. He's going to go and get the medic when he respawns. The medic's going to be up in 2 seconds. This is going to be tense because there is a teleporter here, meaning there will be a line if they know this. And he gets... Oh, no, that was really close.
Very close, but the Demo and the Heavy did respawn at the exact same time, so it was kind of a difficult pick to do. But we do see Sookie doing work, getting back on this point, you know, trying to get this hold with about 20% advantage as well. So for any kind of push that After Dark do want to make, they probably won't be able to do it as effectively as maybe they would hope. After Dark as well taking a lot of damage, and a lot of their main classes are going down, so it does seem like this round is going to be favourable for Sookie doing work, but you never know, it could change in the last 10 seconds.
Yeah, that is really depending on how After Dark pushes this. Medic Muffins for Sookie Doin work is really in the back. Scout takes her out, though. No more Medic for Sookie Doin work here. Currently overtime, and they have to cap this point, and people are in Girardi. Uber is popped, and Uber versus Girardi equals you can't kill us, but we'll kill you really fast. In fact, 33% faster. And they cap the point, and they need to hold this for 20 seconds without any attempt of capture from the other team unless they want to go into overtime. So we are going to watch Airfix from Sookie Doin work here as he takes out the Pyro and the Spy. There's going to be some nice picks there because there won't be any area denial coming out of that Pyro anytime soon. And with a slight numbers advantage, Sookie Doin works coming in here.
Oh, are they going to be able to grab this back? 2 overtimes on the point. It's just the Medic alive. What's going to happen? That is a wipe for Sookie Doin work. Just a few respawns at the last very second, but it's just not going to be enough. The demo and the Medic taunting on the point.
I just want to say MVP, TPM, he just came in through the side with a giant like shovel and just cleaned up everything. So he was, even though he was like 3rd MVP, his MVP in our hearts, because he has been doing a lot of work. Like I said before the game, playing Scout on this map is absolutely dreadful, but he made it happen. So definitely good for After Dark there, as they're not out of the game. 2-1 in favor of After Dark.
Yeah, we're going to see both teams getting to mid here. It does seem like Sookie did bump into a few players, but it just isn't going to be enough. He gets the med pick! He walks up behind the heavy medic and gets the med pick. He does quickly get found out by the Pyro just after that, but that is going to be a massive advantage for Sookie Doin work. And that is going to be meaning that Sookie Doin work should really be trying to push onto this point, and they have a medic, and After Dark just don't. But it does seem like After Dark somehow are managing to grab this point, even though Sookie Doin work didn't have the numbers.
Oh no, he died. Never mind. The demo was in a really
insane.
Yeah, that was really insane here. Keep in mind though, Uber does not play as a huge role in Highlander as it does in Sixes, so it doesn't make or break. But if you don't have, like, if you lose the medic and you lose your plower classes, there's like no way you can win.
Yeah, and especially on King of the Hill, Demo Man, just those stickies, they do a lot of damage, even though, you know, maybe not as useful as maybe in Sixes, but it is still very useful. And I mean, losing your demo at the first mid-fight isn't something you really want to be doing, but we do see 100% Uber from Sookie Doin work, and only about 60% from After Dark, so it does seem likely that even if After Dark do try push this, it won't really work out in their favour. But I do believe they're going to be trying to build Uber right now, and I just kind of wait for that and maybe try push in upon that advantage.
Yeah, isn't it really overextending here as a sniper? And surprisingly staying alive as Limp kills Vet. And yeah, full Uber here from Quantum Plumber. It's going to bring in the quantum damage, except not, because that's Kritzkrieg.
We are going to see both teams here, not just Ubering on this point. The red Pyro, they're doing a lot more work than we saw last time, air blasting the blue heavy away.
Flanking heavy, gets taken out by
he gets
Sookie.
Taken down. Yeah. Very nice place by Sookie right there, and we do see the mini sentry just chipping off a bit of damage to that heavy, but it just wasn't enough, and that is going to give some more time for Sookie doing work on this point. Just about 1 minute and 40 seconds left to go, whilst After Dark
Look at this
still
Spy,
around
he is
3
just
minutes.
so close to being figured out, and he actually gets out of there.
I saw that. I don't know how that happened. That's insane.
Well, unfortunately, After Dark's Spy hasn't been able to capitalize on the chaos that happens once in a while Sookie has been nearly every single time. And that's why he hasn't been able to get as many picks as Sookie has this game. So let's see if he's able to like use the chaos of pushes more to get important picks and stuff like that.
Yeah, I've been really interested watching Sookie, you know, just getting behind the lines. He doesn't even need a knife. The sniper didn't even notice him. He doesn't need a knife. He pulls out the revolver, just revolvers the sniper, and then he revolvers the scout as well. That is 2 classes already down for After Dark. And we do see both Ubers on the point. Well, we actually just see Sookie doing work. The After Dark Uber didn't actually come in with this, which is kind of interesting. Sookie doing work are going to be able to hold this point a little longer, but with After Dark satting on that Uber, hopefully we'll see some push from them hopefully soon.
Demoman forced the Uber out of After Dark here, so they just have to go with whatever they can, and they really don't have a number or positioning advantage right now. Engineer on the point tries to get something done, can't really do anything. They have a Demoman here doing some damage, getting some nice splash here, but they just don't simply have the numbers.
You know, we do see the heavy coming onto the point, but Sookie, you know, he's got that knife, and he revolvers the medic! He backstabs the heavy, revolvers the medic, and that's just going to be 2 of the main classes at this push, just down for After Dark, which does, I mean, it does seem very favourable for Sookie doing work right now.
Yeah, Sookie is just continually being able to capitalize on these situations and just doing it again and again, and he is the kind of spy that, like, because he uses the revolver and not the ambassador, he's even better close by, so like, it doesn't take that many well-placed shots to kill, like, a scout or a sniper. with the revolver. So Sookie is like, if he decloaks in a corner and you don't see him, he doesn't necessarily need to stab you. He can just shoot you and you still die because you don't know where the shots are coming from, and that's what makes Sookie so dangerous.
Yeah, and we do see After Dark actually being able to grab this point, which is something I didn't actually expect to see. But, you know, it does give Sookie Doin work still 2 minutes and 30 seconds to be able to capitalize on this, possibly pushing. It does seem very unlikely that Sookie Doin work won't be able to do anything. But we should see hopefully something coming in now. We do have about a 30% advantage for After Dark in the Uber scenario, and we do see some nice spy checks going on by Quell, making sure that nothing can really destroy the medic. We do see the Uber coming in as soon as he gets it though, and that is going to be a lot of the players for Sookie Doin work actually going down. But the heavy for After Dark goes down, and that's Sookie Doin work. You know, even if they're losing their main players, they're going to be able to grab it, and that is a 2-2 score right now.
Yeah, and Sookie Doin work is just playing so well, being able to play off each other. They're doing that a bit better than After Dark is doing right now. But it's a new round, you know, blank pages. The score is 2-2. Score is currently favoring After Dark a little bit here, so they're actually on top of the fragger part here. But frags doesn't make or break the team. It is the team that makes or breaks the team.
Something like that. But we do see the soldier cratering there. Nice stickies by Demi making him do that. And we do see some damage coming in on Sookie Doin work though, which is going to put them at a bit of a disadvantage. So it does seem like After Dark are going to be trying to get some players on the point right now, but it just isn't enough. We do see a lot of players actually dropping for After Dark as well, but the medic for Sookie Doin work does go down. Was that a headshot? I'm not really sure, but that was a very nice pick, and that is going to be able to let... I was going to say After Dark are going to be able to do something, but After Dark's medic gets headshot as well, and it does seem like Sookie Doin work are going to be able to win this mid-fight and win the mid-point.
Yeah, and from their engagement, Sookie Doin work has been able to gang up on After Dark like 5-1 like 5 times, and that's how you want to do it. You want to gang up. You don't want to create a fair fight. You want to create like really advantages for yourself, and that's what Sookie Doin work has been doing this round. So we see like if you just look at After Dark's positioning, they're like kind of coming at Sookie Doin work one at a time, and that's not really what you want to do. But we do see they hanging out and just waiting to go there. As it looks like they're building and they're just hanging out on the right-hand side of the map. We have Dempsey here with some nice 3 letters in his name just hanging out here, and he's going to put some nice stickies down there and launches the sniper in the air, and he falls onto Sookie. Sookie comes out and he gets the stab.
But he manages to grab that down man at the last second, but the heavy does manage to take him out as well. We see Quantum getting that Uber and just taking it straight in for After Dark. I don't think it really did anything, did it? Didn't really get too many casualties, but it did scare a lot of Sookie Doin work off the point. But it does seem like Sookie Doin work will be able to re-push this pretty soon. They did save a lot of the important players, apart from the heavy. We do see the Uber instantly coming in back with the Demo Man, and he's not even going to let After Dark cap. I thought After Dark would at least be able to cap, and just Sookie Doin work would recap it. But that definitely isn't the case right now, and that does put Sookie Doin work at a big advantage, with After Dark not even being able to capture the point yet.
Yeah, I've seen the heavy Black Bob from After Dark here being really unfortunate with his positioning. He kind of goes on the flank all by himself, and then he gets swarmed by 3 players, and then he ends up killing none of them, and then he just dies. Which is not something you want to do. You don't want to go up against 3 people. You want to be the 3 people that goes up against 1 in this Highlander match. And we've just seen Sookie Doin work doing a lot more of that and just out-DMing the enemy team. And of course, out-DMing is just killing them, which this map is a lot about. You know, it's a hill in the middle, you just kill everything. Let's see if they can get this important dispenser pick, and the dispenser goes down.
TPM just going absolutely huge. We do see TPM. Oh, the medic goes down! Muffins with just like 92% Uber, and he gets a nice headshot from Train. That was an excellent kill. And the Sookie getting caught just about there, but he does manage to get away somehow. I don't know how he managed that. After Dark looking definitely the dominant team right now, even if Sookie Doin work does have the numbers. They do have the Uber, and they should really be able to capitalize on this if Sookie Doin work does decide to try push this.
Sookie bringing out the revolver action here and actually cloaking here. Not running into the Dead Ringer shenanigans, actually being really a pain in the butt. Just hanging out. He is still alive, mind you, and he's going to go for this medic all alone and actually gets taken out by the arrow.
Crossbow. That was a very nice crossbow. We actually did see the AD spy, After Dark spy, use the revolver to kill the enemy med. I know we've been kind of upping Sookie a bit. We've got to give some credit to Vaeti. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, but I mean, he is still doing a lot of work, and he is being able to use some of these advantages. It does just seem that Sookie, like Sookie the Spy, not just Sookie doing work in general, but Sookie the Spy, managing to capitalize on those advantages. As you said earlier, you know, when the mumble comes are cluttered, you really need to capitalize on that and try to do something with it, and it does seem like they're doing that well. Quell! Very nice reflect on Bones. That's like the second reflect kill I've seen onto Bones in this match. That is some very decent plays to protect both his team and himself, but we did see Muffin's Sookie Doin Works medic go down right there, so that does put the After Dark medic at about a 45% advantage.
Yeah, and we're seeing that Sookie Doin Works team is sticking very much together. They have like this death ball going on here, while as After Dark is covered in Girardi and mostly dead, and doesn't have a strong presence on the point here. They will do some harassment, just trying to force players on the point here, but they're really not positioning themselves the way they should. They lost a lot more than they should have done here. The medic's in the air, and the Heavy soaks up a rocket from the Heavy. Keep in mind, Quantum is now at 100% Uber and less than 50 health.
Yeah, it's definitely not something you want to see. I think the engineer, Black Bob, trying to throw a sandwich to his medic, but the engineer for his team just walks in the way, stealing that health, so it's going to take a little bit longer for Quantum to be able to grab that health, but it doesn't even matter now. We do see an Uber coming in from them. Just going to be using that Uber to air blast them away with the Pyro, just deal as much damage as possible, and it did seem to be very effective. Even if it didn't kill anybody, that is going to be able to scare them away. With just 10 seconds left on the clock for Sookie Doin Work, they really don't want to let... yeah, they don't really want to let Sookie Doin Work be able to recap this. It's going to be difficult to fight back against that. But nice headshot from Isun. Yep. Yeah. Well, we do see, Karen.
Oh yeah, well, Quell almost got the important dispensation.
Oh! Vet getting a nice backstab, like 95% for Sookie Doin Work, and that is going to be a nice backstab. A lot of players dropping for both teams. Just 3 up for After Dark. They really need to get on this point as quickly as possible. But there isn't anybody around, and that is going to be 3-2 to Sookie Doin Work.
And that is halftime.
Oh yeah. So now we've seen a few plays and we've seen how strongly After Dark have been playing. I mean, Sookie Doin Work was the favourable team at the moment, and a lot of people were actually saying that it's going to be a complete stomp. And After Dark have put up a really nice game. So what do you think of like the outcomes of it? Do you think both teams played well or what?
I think both teams played well. I think if you just look at the points here, you can see they are they're slightly higher for After Dark. But Sookie
5 dominations
yeah.
for Sookie Doin Work Scout.
Yeah, they're doing a lot of work. Everybody's doing a lot of work, and
are we going to the next map?
Alright, so did they win that one? It's not.
I presume so.
Yeah, because I'm not sure with the Wireplay rules how they are.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was a nice play. The reason Sookie Doin Work won is because they simply just outpositioned the opponents in a really well way. They had like a lot of 2-on-1s and a 3-on-1 scenarios. After Dark's Heavy, really unfortunate with like he tried to go on the flank and trying to get some damage. He did that a couple of times, but unfortunately it didn't work out as he'd hoped because he usually got swarmed and taken out. And losing a Heavy is really important on Viaduct because we see a lot of demos that will just go and just empty themselves and then run and reload behind their Heavy. But if you have not a fat Russian guy with a minigun to hide behind when you reload, you're kind of vulnerable. So we kind of saw that. So After Dark not playing bad, but Sookie Doin Work just having that little, that little extra, little crisp thing that makes it oh so good.
Yeah, of course, Sookie Doin Work, they did win the UGC Plat season, the past season that's just occurred. So, I mean, definitely the most favourable team, and a lot of people do assume that they are going to be a lot stronger. After Dark definitely putting up a massively huge defence, and I think After Dark played very well, definitely living up to expectations, and even more than that. I mean, as I said, a lot of people did expect just a complete roll, and After Dark coming across as a very strong team.
Yeah, that was a lot closer. It was 3-2. Pretty close. So we're now on to Croissant, which is a map that I did an analysis on, and I analyzed it and found it to be really not good, actually. Mainly because of how the layout works. And, well, there is a really, really tall hat here. I guess that could be one of the strong points of the map. But the main problem I have with this map is the way that it's not mirrored. It's a croissant, giving you a very strange mid-combat where you mirror classes meet on the middle fight. Usually that doesn't happen. in other maps because it's mirrored, you know, like Badlands. Badlands is like a very good example of what makes a good map. And the reason for that I wanted to mention is that usually the longer route should be the more beneficial route, right? Like if you spend a bit more time just running around getting to the high ground, you should get a high ground advantage. Do you agree with such a statement?
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, that's like if you look at good maps that a lot of players play, it's always like the longer route is slightly more beneficial. Like the short route, it's faster, yeah, but you usually come on the low ground, you maybe not have that much vision and all that stuff. But on the last point, going the shortest route is the most beneficial one, so everybody just goes there. You can't push from the bottom onto the last point. It is next to impossible to do something because, well, you're on the low ground, so you already have a disadvantage, but you can't see anything that's up. There's no glass, there's no way of telling what's really there, except for like a spy coming in, so it should be reversed, I think. Would have been a lot better. But it's definitely the last point is really, really hard to push. And just because of the layout of the middle here. Because if you think like what classes are going to meet if they run, like if both teams run the same way, the scouts will meet at the same place and the demo will meet at the same place. That doesn't happen on, you know, like Badlands, because, well, Badlands isn't that much played, but like, say, your Enry or something. The scout usually meets the demo, and the other way around on the other team. But here they actually mirrored, so it's kind of weird. This is the only map that does this that I've seen.
Yeah, Croissant, not really. I know a lot of people that aren't exactly the most favourable for this map, and it's kind of not exactly the most enjoyable map to play by. It's kind of weird, and there's kind of that weird aspect that a lot of people do like. Yeah,
it has potential, but it's not finished. It's still an RC, which stands for really crap. I don't know.
Release candidate.
Release candidate.
Really crap 6 version of this.
Yeah, I didn't know it was release candidate. I'm sorry, just slipped. But I do like the layout. I do like the color scheme, and I think it has a lot of potential. It just needs some tweaks here and there. I remember playing on this map in the last UGC season, and we actually lost on the map. It was really, really close, and we lost to technical difficulties too. I think our demo man and medic was sharing internet, and they both dropped right before a major hold, and it was really unfortunate. But it's if the teams are even, this map's going to be even, and it's going to be pretty much like either it's a one-side roll or it's like 1 point 30-minute game.
Yeah, and for anybody that is just joining us, this is week 1 of the Wireplay Season 10 Highlander Cup thing. I don't know what to call it. This is Sookie Doin work versus After Dark, as I said, Wireplay Season 1. My name is Hayden, or Magical Killer Cow, or Smiley Face, whatever you want to call me. Joining me today is High GPS, and he is also the cameraman for the stream, which is
actually get to talk
difficult.
Now. That's really nice. Like, I remember yesterday I was casting you with Sal, and I was like, hey, I want to talk, and you're like, go back to the camera shed. You're like, you're not welcome here. But now I brought the camera out here, so everything's fine. Yeah. So right now we're just waiting for our players to ready. They both are 9, so we're going to be live going pretty soon because word order.
Yeah. Any predictions for this map? We did see the first map, King of the Hill Pro Viaduct, go 3-2 for Sookie Doin work. So is there kind of any predictions or anything you want to expect from a player?
Like from what we saw last match, giving that like Sookie Doin work has just been holding back and it's going like turbo mode or something on us. I think After Dark might have the bigger advantage because they did have the better DM, and because of the middle fight is all about, you know, mirrored, so equal classes will meet each other. We'll probably go out for After Dark's favor. However, how positioning goes, Sookie Doin work has slightly better positioning, and better positioning beats better DM, just in general.
Yeah.
That, like, if you ever wonder, like, how do I beat someone that's better than me? You just have to have better positioning than they do, and you win.
Yeah, I mean, Highlander it's not, like, it is definitely about killing the enemies, and it is about being able to out-DM the enemy team, but, I mean, strategy does come into play a lot more than you'd really expect.
Yeah, and Highlander still hasn't gotten as figured out as Sixes are. I mean, Sixes is a format that is very refined. Everybody knows what works, what doesn't. A Highlander, not so much. Everybody's kind of just running around with different loadouts and getting different results and stuff like that. But there's definitely a lot to medic heavy combo plus additional classes. Something we see a trend of right now on 5CP maps that I've seen in the games I've casted is Sniper, Soldier, Scout, usually the ones that hangs on the flanks. Of course, the Spy's just hanging around wherever a Spy hangs out, and then we usually see the Pyro hanging around the medic, spy checking and stuff like that. Which is something I think is going to change over time, because as a medic you shouldn't really have problems with spies ever. Because you should just watch everything, and you should know where everybody on your team is, and thereby never be surprised to see them. But we don't see a lot of Uber Saw trickery that we can do, which I hope we will see in the future. I remember before it was banned, a lot of medics used the Vita Saw, which was just dreadful. I don't know why you would ever use that. The Uber Saw is just so much more fun. You can like extend Ubers.
Yeah.
Like what I really want to see, like I used to be a main medic, and what I really want to see is an Uber push with the medic in the front, running into the enemy heavy, and then the enemy heavy runs away and turns his back, and then the enemy, the medic who Uber saws 3 or 4 times, gets another full Uber and just extends it a lot and just keeps pushing. That's like the best thing. But it's so rare in Highlander because the medics, I don't feel the medics are as comfortable with knowing how much damage they do and how much damage they can take.
Yeah.
Like what you can do, like for example, like say you see a soldier, right, and he's gonna bomb you, and you count 3 rockets. That means he has 1 rocket left for you, and you can survive a rocket if you have full health. And that means if you run into him and he shoots and you melee him, you survive and you kill him. A lot of medics are not aware of that. Of course, you will be really, really weak and you can die if a scout coughs on you, but hey, you got 25% Uber, and that can really make or break thing. So what I'm hoping to see in the future of Highlander is just more aggressive Uber Saw play, because I think that really, really helps, because especially with spies. Like the spies are easy to get Uber off of. Too bad Valve like nerfed the Uber Saw so you can't get it from the sky spies. That would be like, imagine if like Quantum would just heal Sookie and the Pyro would just air blast him in the air and he would just chain Uber and just use it as like this Uber battery.
That'd be pretty cool. We are waiting for some players to ready up, maybe. I have gotten word that we are going to be going live, so we're just going to wait for the STV to kind of catch up and have some awesome action going on the way. As I said earlier, my name is Hayden, or Magical Killer Cow, or Smiley Face. This is Wireplay Week 1, Season 10, Sookie Doin Work versus After Dark. I'm joined today with High GPS as the cameraman and the co-caster.
Hello.
Yeah,
I'm just adding in some awkward.
Something.
Like, it's good to have some awkward before awesome. It like adds to the contrast. It's like eating something that's really healthy before you eat something really unhealthy. Like have a salad before a burger or something like that. It makes the burger so tastier. Or taste worse if you're like a health nut, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, we're all here for TF2, but this is some incredible health advice by your favorite Norwegian High GPS.
Salads. Goes on a sandwich. There we go, we're going live.
Yeah, and Sookie Doin Work versus After Dark. We do have Sookie Doin Work in the blue, red team actually, and After Dark on the wet blue. What? Brain. Let's go.
Yeah, After Dark blue, Sookie Doin Work red. Yes.
Yeah, I meant
so we're seeing the mid engagement going here. Demo Man meet each other first. Scouts are going to be mirror matching it up underneath the point here as they wait for the rest of the team to join up.
Yeah, it does seem like Sookie Doin Work do have a very nice position in, you know, watching this house, watching the other, like, smaller house, and just being able to dominate the area. It does seem like After Dark trying to kind of hold around this corner, not really kind of being too aggressive, not trying to get this point too early, so we do see a bit of Sookie Doin Work time on the point. But it does seem like After Dark are going to try and make a bit of a push. I'm not really too sure what they're doing, kind of trying to hold back, not trying to overextend and not be too aggressive.
Yeah, I've also I just saw what the, like, I guess you can call problem for Vet, the spy for Sookie Doin Work. He's actually running the Spicicle. And the thing is, with the Spicicle, if it's on fire, you lose it. You can't stab anybody. And so many times he's been in the position where he can stab the heavy, even though he's on fire, but he loses it. So he's lost a lot of stabs where you, like, trade a spy for a heavy or a medic. But
whilst we're talking about that, he backstabs the medic!
Yeah, he did that. That was good.
Just pulls it out. Backstab the medic. He does quickly get taken out by the Pyro, though, but I mean, that is to be expected. If you just kill the enemy medic, we do see Atomic going absolutely huge with those meat shots and the Gerati on the enemy heavy there. And it does seem like Sookie Doin Work are dropping a few players, but I mean, they should really be able to hold this point a little bit longer. Their medic did just respawn. That was some interesting plays right there from After Dark.
Yeah, and we've seen After Dark Spy continuously. He gets a stab and then he dies. That's like usually how it goes when they are clustered together. So, Sookie Doin Work here, checking out Train on this side here. Nice stab there. But it really isn't playing in his favor. He's losing a lot of kills because of it. He's now in position once again. He might get the Demo Man, and he get the sniper. He got the sniper and then he runs away.
It's good enough. He'll take it. IRFX going on a bit of a heavy battle, but we do see AD pushing in now with that Uber charge. Not really being able to I say that lightly now. They did pick up a lot of kills in that last second. We do see a scout focusing on Muffins. Muffins very weak right now, just 30 health, and the scout is pressuring him so much. He does get backed into a corner though, and that is going to be a lot of Sookie Doin work, very hurt.
Yeah.
And After Dark will be able to grab this midpoint.
Yeah, and Quantum just needs to check his back more, because he was following the heavy up there, and Sookie doing work was, well, Sookie, of course, the spy, was just slowly inching up on him, like for a good 2 seconds. So,
yeah.
But you know, when you first get stabbed by spies, you kind of get like irritated, and then the the comms get clustered, and they start blaming people.
Yeah. But we do see just a kind of a nice hold around this little pathway right here, just trying to make sure that AD don't really push into them. SDW don't really want AD to be really pushing into them too strongly.
I love the positioning of Sookie. Look at this. Oh, the medic sees him, but doesn't bring up the Uberson. Action!
How does he get away with that? That is absolutely insane. And we do see Sookie still alive. Will he be able to get anything? Oh, the Pyro finds him. He goes invisible trying to grab that med pack and trying to get away, but the Pyro does just manage to pick him off. And SDW really looking quite strong right now. And, you know, it is kind of backwards and forwards. Somebody said in the chat CP stalemate right here. And,
yeah,
it does seem like SDW are going to be able to grab this.
Yeah, especially on the middle point because of the mirror thing. It works. Yeah.
Yeah.
But Sookie, he's getting away with so many stabs that he shouldn't. And his team is just capitalizing on that. We have an Uber battle here. Looks like After Dark is going to come out on top of that. Keep in mind, the teams have been switched, so After Dark is now blue. Sookie Doin work is in the red.
Yeah, it's the single most thing that confuses me so much. We do see the Demo Man trying to jump behind, trying to do a bit of damage. Demi's GPS just missing a lot of his hits on the Caber. We're just getting Sookie jumping down, killing the Heavy, and he's just walking around with his revolver trying to get that medic, but it's just not enough. Will he be able to pick off the medic? No, he does get taken out because he did get Jarated. And SCW looking pretty weak right now. They don't have a medic and they don't have their Demo Man. So maybe AD will try and make a bit of a push right here, but you never really know. I mean, you know, CP Snell a bit. This could be kind of interesting to see what both teams do.
Yeah, and one thing that doesn't really work on this map is, like, have some classes cap the point and then just the rest attack. That, for some reason, just never works. But we have a scout here doing some little poke on the side here, a little flanking, courtesy of Mr. Atomic. Doesn't really get too much done here. We have Vet. He is pretty far away from where he needs to be, actually. But he's going to get this... Is he... Yeah, get them in his entry. Yes, alert the NG to your presence. That's what you want to do. So he's on the point here, doing a bit of harass, forcing people. We have an Uber coming out here. Didn't really do too much.
Sookie missing the stab on that soldier there, and you know, like Uber, they did have a big advantage. They really didn't use it that effectively. And SDW are about on 90% right now, about an 80% advantage. So they should really be able to maybe use this push into second, because we have seen a bit of capping backwards and forwards on at this point, and we really want to see some forward pushing right now.
Yeah, I just have a bad habit whenever I'm watching Quantum Plumber. I just go to the third person and I look behind him. It's like, is Sookie there? No, okay, he'll be there soon. You wait.
Yeah, Sookie just is really doing work and you know, getting some really nice stabs. Somebody told me to calm down in the chat. I will calm down. Sookie just getting some very nice stabs.
Speaking of Sookie, here he comes. Here he is. Oh,
tease it around the demo, man. Who cares about the rest of the match? We're gonna see some Sookie cam.
Yeah, he's actually gonna go and shoot the. Yeah, that doesn't work, Sookie. You have to shoot him with the revolver. That was pretty... Yeah, I think that does get him with the revolver,
It doesn't even matter.
Yeah.
We are going to see SDW trying to get in. We're seeing some nice the Uber medic, just very nice surfing right there, managing to get away with that. We do see Quantum coming up here with the Uber saw. He gets one nice little jab on him, and that is another 25% into that. SCW did lose a lot of players though, so it may be kind of interesting to see if they do really want to push this. They only have about 3 players, 2 players
right now. They
now.
just traded a medic for a sniper here, so Muffins is dead.
Yeah, and it
does
seem
with
like
a nice
AD.
Uber advantage, but keep in mind this map, like, Uber advantage doesn't really play that much unless you have. I think you need, like, if you want to be really successful, just have your entire team clustered together in a ball and kill the enemy demo man or soldier really quickly. I can think that works the best.
Because it seems to be the most effective, because we don't see Quantum alive right now, and with about 20% advantage. SDW very nicely holding this point. I thought they'd lose it.
Yeah, and keep in mind, neither team has capped anything at this point in time. It's just been going back and forth here. But we're seeing Sookie Doin work is holding the middle point here, and you know, if you first die in the spot, you know, you go to the spot again, and you actually kill the guy who killed you eventually.
Yeah, that's how this works. We do see Black Bob sat up on top of these crates. He hasn't really been seen, and if SDW do try push this, Black Bob will be waiting, sat behind them.
But he has spun up his minigun, making sure they can hear him, though.
Yeah, that was a good point.
But yeah, we're seeing they're gonna wait for Uber to push. And right now they could have done a kind of a soft push. It's kind of hard to do that with the demo man watching. We got Dempsey here with the... What is he doing? He's running over his sticky trap here.
Yeah, we do see both Ubers around equal right now. AD not having their spy or their scout. I don't think it'll be too big of a difference, but we do see the Uber coming in from AD. It didn't really do much though, and neither did the Uber from SDW. It was kind of just a way to make sure that they kept their players alive. We do see a lot of spam coming onto the heavy though. 15 health. Oh, he gets taken out by a nice scattergun shot, and that's going to be the heavy down for was that, yeah, SDW. And it should really give AD a tiny bit of an advantage to maybe try push out a bit, but I don't think they really want to act upon this. But it does seem like Sookie Doin work, you know, just trying to push onto this point, but it just isn't enough.
Yeah, and I was watching the flank there, and the left-hand flank here from After Dark is just wide open. I mean, their demo man and scout just waltz right in there, but it looks like a counter push is going to happen here. They have two of their classes out of position, and they could really do something with this. The demo and the pyro, at least the pyro is really, really weak, and the pyro goes down. Nice work there by the tree, which I think is their engineer. Yep, engineer shot connection.
Vaetti, I can't pronounce that, but he does get a nice backstab onto SDW. The heavy right there, that was the only class trying to really defend the point. And it does seem like AD are being pretty confident right now. You know, they do look pretty confident at trying to push this. Sookie, missing the stab on that sparkly rocket launcher guy. And he does manage to get away.
Yeah, what After Dark really needs to do is to have their heavy kind of in the back and have the rest in front, and when the other takes damage, they just fall back behind the heavy as he walks forward, because he really needs to do that damage. We've seen Urfix kind of not... no, not Urfix. Black Bob. Kind of not having the best position here, but they do have some momentum. They've lost a couple of players. But Sookie is still alive, and he is somewhere, and he's going to be crazy headache. And here we see Black Bob kind of out of position
nice
once
reflect.
again.
Nice reflect from high right there. And AD managing to very nicely push a bit forward into Sookie Doin work, but Sookie Doin work do pull out the Uber charge, and it should be able to grab this point pretty easily, and then you know, scare a lot of AD away, if not kill them. Sookie snapping the mini sentry and just running off, not really being able to be tracked down. So there's a bit less damage coming off from the point, but he does get Gerati'd, and they're probably going to be chased down right now. AD, a lot of AD right now are very, very weak. So I mean, we should really see something coming out of this from Sookie Doin work. They don't have their medic though, so it could be a bit difficult.
Well, looking at the team, it seems like, yeah, Sookie Doin work, they don't have their demo, they don't have their medic. There's no way they can break this unless Sookie just accidentally stabs the entire enemy team here, or the scout does a lot of work. But that's not going to happen. Their heavy is alive and still kind of out of position. He's been that the entirety of the game. Not
roaming
really,
heavy right there.
Yeah, roaming heavy, I guess. Doesn't really work out. Sookie here coming on the flank. They can't see him because he's invisible and a pain in the butt, but here he comes. Oh, he's actually on fire. And the pyro doesn't notice that he's on fire. He should know.
But we did see an Uber from After Dark right there. I don't think it really got anybody at all. And I don't really think it definitely did much. Nice reflect from Quell, reflecting that Gerati off of himself and the heavy. We do see Sookie trying to stab. No, that wasn't Sookie, that was Vaetti. Trying to get a nice stab on the scout, but he just misses. And a TPM overextending a bit, trying to grab that heavy kill.
Yeah, but that heavy, he was standing inside the dispenser, yeah. So that's a heavy heal dispenser, and they're actually on the crits! Sookie Doin works on the crits, and they're gonna, they actually have it right now, so they need to go. They have the momentum, just a spawn coming in here. And this is what I mean with the last point being really hard to push. It's going to be really hard. They have the crits, so they're going to have to do a total wipe here and not die to this spy. Well, he doesn't have the spicicle anymore, so that's not going to happen anytime soon. Crits coming in here, and it looks like this is going to be a cap for Sookie Doin.
Yeah, Atomic did some nice damage onto AD's medic right there, and it did really try to scare him away, and he couldn't really do much about that. But that is 1-0 to Sookie Doin work right now on CP Croissant.
Yeah, and very good call there by Muffins, getting that crits and just continuing their momentum there, just outdealing them. Still on the crits. Of course, Quantum is running the crits Krieg as well, so they counter to crits is crits. Whoever gets it faster. So Quantum has Slight Uber advantage, but that's very, very insignificant at this point in time.
Yeah, we do see both teams getting to mid. We see Limp just jumping in, trying to focus on that soldier, grabbing that soldier kill. The soldier with the sparkly rocket launcher does go down, which of course puts AD a massive disadvantage because they don't have as many sparkles. It does seem like Sookie Doin are going to be able to grab this point, but we did see this round on the first round. We saw AD kind of sitting back, not really wanting to push onto the point too quickly, and then Sookie Doin just kind of didn't expect it. And then AD managed to grab it. And right now we did see the Ubers coming from both teams. Nothing really did come out of that, though. And we do see AD Train just trying the SCW's medic, but it just wasn't enough. And he's going to try and go for the headshot! Headshot! I don't even have to make real sentences. That was a nice headshot from Train.
And Sookie Doin here taking out the Demoman beach that advertises vanilla tf2.org. So yeah, that was... They still have anyone that haven't captured mid yet, and this has been one of the wonkiest mid battles where everybody's just hurling themselves at each other and dying left and right. That's
yeah, I think Sookie Doin did actually grab it a bit before though, but we do see AD switching on over to the Kritzkrieg. Maybe a bit of a weird choice. I believe Sookie Doin are still running stock, so I mean it could be a bit difficult to be able to do anything with it. But I mean if it works, it works. You never really know. But we do see AD grabbing that point, and we should really be able to see Sookie Doin being able to re-push back onto this. A lot of players for AD are down, so SCW do have the advantage.
Yeah, Sookie's not in this little pathway here, and his team is capping. I don't think he will be able to do too much here without moving too far. There's nothing really to stab here. So we're trying to see what is the other. We're looking at Muffins, still at 100% crits. Here it comes. Gets the heavy, gets the demo.
Oh, that killed the kill feed! The kill feed! A bit overexcited right there. That was absolutely insane crits. A lot of AD is very difficult now, and if Sookie Doin don't push on this, then that is an absolute ridiculous miss. And I mean, they could possibly even try pushing to last a bit quickly. Nobody seems to really sitting on second, but that was some incredible plays with those crit stickies. It's the joys of Kritzkrieg. You don't really get to see it too often, and when it does get pulled out, especially on 5 CP, it is very interesting. But we are going to see about a 25% advantage in Ubers for Muffins right now, but I don't think it'll really be too beneficial for them.
Yeah, Sookie Doin taking out the sniper. Nice little pick there. That's a pick for free, as there was no one else around. Sniper was all by himself. I think he will be able to get one more kill. He gets the heavy. Black Bob goes down, and then he's on fire, and he revolvers, but it's not enough. But 2 picks for 1 class, that is very good, as their team's not going to make the push. They have a full Kritzkrieg, and Quantum doesn't have that Uber yet. So here comes the Kritzkrieg, here comes the pain. Demoman drops down, loses a lot of crits, dies. The medic is up. Ooh, Muffins is still alive.
We do see a lot of After Dark. Very hurt right there. We do see Sookie Doin just pushing onto this point because a lot of their players did go down. So it should seem like it's Sookie Doin at the point. Oh, nice headshot by Ison, and that is going to be 2-0 to Sookie Doin.
Yeah, Sookie Doin really just getting the kills they need with that crits. Both times they've used it now. And it doesn't seem like After Dark has any response for this. They just keep dying to this, and then they just attack the last point once, and then they win.
Yeah, I mean, Sookie Doin is, you know, they were the most favourable team. It did put up like a very nice fight, and After Dark are still putting up a very nice fight, but it does seem like Sookie Doin still using those advantages to, well, their advantage. We do see them trying to get on point instantaneously right now. You know, After Dark, they do seem to be trying to getting a bit more of a forward hold more than anything. You know, they really do want to try and get some time on this point and win this mid fight, but I don't really think it's going to be enough. Sookie Doin are taking a lot of damage, but they are almost at full Uber as well, and they do use the Uber. It wasn't actually Kritzkrieg, but the medic did go down when he only had about 70% left. So Sookie Doin only 3 players up. It should mean that AD do grab this point.
We have a hero engineer here actually doing most of the work there, and then the pyro just coming and stealing that Dempsey kill from him. But the three is still here.
You would see an Uber from AD just on the scout. I believe that was probably a false right there. But that does mean that AD should be able to grab this point. They are pretty much stacking it. And I don't really see any contestion. Is that word? It is now. For SCW, because they really can't do anything to try to stop it.
They can get the heavy into their little ball that they had on the point there and just waltz slowly forward. They can really use this disadvantage that they don't have yet, but they might be able to get an advantage if they don't lose any players. They have all their power classes alive. Limp is currently down for Sookie Doin work, so that is less damage alive. So they just need to play this carefully, and they lose their engineer. That's unfortunate. Those Wrangle mini sentries are really nice to have as a backup plan.
Yeah, I mean, the Wrangle Sentry, just kind of from a long distance. I mean, it's not going to be taking too much damage, and it will also be able to dispense a lot of damage as well. But both Ubers are around equal. Maybe we'll see some pushes, but I don't think either push will really be able to do anything unless somebody just does.
Crit Spree coming in here, and I think Quantum is, yeah, he's on the regular Uber here, and they did a little roundabout. Only their soldier survived this roundabout. Nice Uber sauce double, extending that Uber.
That's what we're talking about.
Yep, that's what I like to see. That is a nice little pick there. First medic kill of the day, I think, that with an Uber saw at least. On the soldier. You
see Quantum getting pressured by the scout though, and he does get taken down. But Sookie Doin do look very strong. AD don't really have too many players at this midpoint right now. And it does seem like Sookie Doin I thought they were going to be able to push this, but a lot of them did also go down. So AD slowly making their way on a soft push into second.
I think the heavy spotted Sookie. Yeah, he did. And Sookie is going to go down. He's using the revolver, taking down the heavy to under half health there. So really maximizing that damage before he goes down. That's how you can tell like a good player. He's like, well, I know I'm going to die, so I'm just going to do as much damage as possible before I die. And, you know, really capitalizing everything. We see Isn't with a nice double kill here, taking down a couple of players from After Dark here as he holds this long sight line, which is very good for sniper. It's hard to get counter sniped here. So, but here comes the other sniper. We'll have a little sniper duel coming up here, and
one of them is both overhealed. Oh, well, going to come out of this. I don't think anything should really come out of this. Train going for a nice headshot on the scout, or at least he tried to get it, but he did in fact miss. We did see Train just kind of peeking around this corner. I guess, you know, pushing this last point, as you said earlier, it was very difficult to push last point, so it could be kind of difficult to see kind of what both teams do, and well, maybe we'll see some AD action.
Yeah, AD is definitely the keys that's being pressed with these snipers going back and forth, and eventually Train gets Isan here. Uber popped onto the demo man from Quantum here, their medic, and the heavy comes in, cleans up, and doesn't look like Sookie Doin has a lot of response to this. Only a soldier coming in, but a nice super saw finish off that guy. And After Dark shows they're not out of the game with 10 minutes left in the round. It's currently 2-1 in favor of Sookie Doin here. And if you look at the frags, they're still favoring After Dark ever so slightly. Well, it's more or less even, but you see where the classes are positioned is completely different.
Yeah, I mean, After Dark, you know, even if they are 1 point behind, they should really still be able to do anything. With 10 minutes left, they do have time to really be able to do everything. We do see After Dark just kind of peeking around, you know, as I said, they are going to go for a bit of a forward push more. From the first few rounds, we did see them stay back a bit, not really want to be too aggressive on his first point and being a bit hesitant, but now they're just going to go all out, pull out all the stocks, and the nice backstab from Sookie onto the heavy right there is going to delay that push a bit more.
He also gets the Engineer and Sentry for free, so that is a lot of nice picks for free, because Sookie is still alive, and Isan with a headshot on TPM as the scout ran into the little fence there. And look at this momentum that Sookie Doin has right now. This is going to be really hard to stop, even with this Uber. No, not with this Uber.
Oh, do you see the crits? Just trying to do as much damage. He does get at least 1 kill on the Pyro, I believe that was.
Look at this Engineer. This Engineer was like, I'm just going to go this way, and then he ran past the Uber, and it's like, nah, I'm going to go back, because there was a heavy there, and he's kind of too wide to walk around. I better jump over him. I'll leave that to the soldier.
And we are going to see, hopefully, some pushes coming in pretty soon. We do see Limp just spamming a few rockets over the second. It does seem like Sookie Doin are feeling very confident after grabbing that mid-fight, and possibly even be trying to push into second, hopefully soon, to just get a bit more action going on. Because, you know, you don't want to, you know, sure, this is all about stalemating, but I mean, we do want to see some action on this cast, and we are going to see IRFX kind of peeking through this shot and taking out the demo man. And the Heavy is trying to fight him, but he goes down as well. The Pyro trying to get onto second, but I believe he is going to go down in the next couple of seconds because he is taking a lot of damage. And that is the Pyro down. 100% crits for Sookie Doin as well, with the Medic for AD just respawning. So it should seem like a pretty easy push.
Yeah, they lost their Heavy, though, to the Spy, so they don't have a Heavy in this push. But they have a full crits, I think. They're still running crits.
Oh, Quantum be thrown up in the air, and he's going behind the Medic. Oh, the Medic gets a nice headshot. Or he gets headshotted. But Quantum, another Ubersaw swinging a 60% from 0 in a matter of seconds. Just surfing those rockets and being able to get some nice
That's what I want to see. That's what I like. Quantum definitely turning up the aggression. He's like, well, you know, I want free Uber. I guess I'll just punch some people with my saw. And they should have lost that, but some way, somehow, they managed to hold it.
Yeah, I really don't know how.
They have a full Uber, and they're going to push out of this, I think.
The Ubersaw.
Yep.
Just that Uber Assault, massive advantage for them, and it does seem like they are going to be able to use this. I don't think it really killed many people, but it did scare a lot of them away.
Sookie is at the last point though, but they have their heavy guarding it, so let's see. Heavy dropped. Sookie is on the last point, but there's a mini sentry. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to do anything. He's going to be really far behind. He has to run a long way to get any stabs here. So we see that After Dark is moving out here after a very, very convincing last hold there. Excellent medic work there by Quantum. I really like this Uber Saw action. Hopefully I haven't seen the last of that, as their heavy and demo man is not with the demo medic and they both die. Okay, all the medic has is a soldier and a half Uber.
The Chris Creek is coming in though.
Yeah, so
I didn't really get too many people, but I mean, it scared them away, and if that works, then it works. We do see the soldier and the medic actually just behind the team. I don't know how they got there, but Quell is just managing to corner him, and that is the medic for AD down as well. And whilst Sookie Doin work do try and make a cheeky bit of a soft push onto here, they don't have their entire team, so they may want to be a bit hesitant, and there is trying to be a cheeky back cap going on, but it does seem like if they stack this point they should be able to grab it, and maybe take a bit of a push onto last. The medic for AD is only just respawned, and some of the power classes are down, so I mean this is a prime time to push.
Yeah, so Sookie Doin work has the option to wait for their medic or just go at any point in time and try and kill the enemy medic and get some advantage, like suicide in, because really After Dark can't really push out from this, but looks like they won't be getting the medic, but it does not look like After Dark gets gonna go anywhere anytime soon, because they need a lot of picks in order to push out, but hey, they're going anyway. I like this. They're putting us in pressure already, even though they can't really do that much. They do have the Uber advantage, though, as long as the medic stays alive, and he is checking his back, so maybe the reign of Sookie is doing work on the medic is over, for all we know.
Yeah, I mean, Sookie, around the start, like, he was going huge, especially on Viaduct, but now it does seem like basically it's turned around now. Sookie not really being able to do as much as maybe he'd hoped, but AD do manage to grab this second point, and the heavy goes down as well for Sookie Doin work, and the Uber is almost ready for both teams actually. AD sitting on that Uber, and it does look like SDW are going to try and make a push with this Crits Creek, but the invincibility Uber, it can't do anything against that, and the Demo Man does go down.
Yeah, and this is the wonky part about Croissant, where there's like no one on the middle point here, and there's a few classes, and if they push out they're gonna die. I think unless they get the positioning right, and it looks like they did. They have the high ground, they just need the medic, and they need to stick together, and the spy really needs to use his revolver for additional damage. Sookie Doin work, the spy of the hour. He is currently sneaking about here, and you gotta be careful. Here he comes. He's gonna decloak right behind the medic. Does he get spotted? Oh, he gets the heavy! And the medic gets a nice Uber Saw. That's a nice 71%. That is at least something, but then the medic dies, unfortunately, but nice little medic aggression there. But yeah, surprisingly, still didn't hear him.
Yeah, and we do see a lot of players for AD actually going down, and with about a 70% advantage. It's going to be even more by the time AD's medic does respawn.
Look at this bat with his back cap going on. Oh, he should have just.
Going to work.
He should have just. No, it didn't work. Too many players couldn't really contest the middle and stall it. So, but it was cute. It was cute. I like that. Sookie Doin work, still running the crits here, being fairly ineffective here, only getting a couple of kills here, getting the heavy and getting train. Which of course is their sniper, but there's a scout behind being really annoying and actually gets muffins there, some nice little trade-off there. Which is going to give Quantum another nice Uber advantage here. Maybe there's a spy coming up so we can feed that his Uber hunger is kind of like a vampire. Feed me Uber. He shoves this thing in your eye.
Ew.
And see, with Uber Slug kills Sookie, of course Sookie being disguised there, so it of course didn't get the Uber, but hey. Surely makes it a lot harder and makes Sookie a lot more nervous to get the medic if you get killed by the medic. So as a medic in Highlander, you should really love spies because they mean free kills or eventually free Uber. So he has 90% Uber now.
Just it does work really.
Yep.
He's so close. 99%. Oh, 99%. And that is Quantum down. That is a huge advantage for SDW.
Oh man, they had like the position, they almost had the Uber, but just a little too overeager. You know, running a bit too fast, spreading a bit too thin, and just a pyro coming by, and that was really unfortunate. But they should be able to pick up the pieces here as Bones is going around the backside here. Maybe he will be able to do something.
Yeah, with about 3 minutes
Gets
left on the
that
clock,
dispenser.
very,
Mission accomplished.
The dispenser is the most important pick in Highlander. With 3 minutes left on the clock, Sookie Doin and AD are going to be having a bit more of this stalemate. Still stuck around this midpoint, not really being able to push out on this. A lot of AD is very hurt though, with that Wrangled mini sentry taking out Quell and maybe be delaying them, because of the chat is actually talking about how Quell is doing a lot of work right now, and he is doing very well at well being Quell. And we do see a Caber trying to come in, but it just doesn't work, and a medic for AD does go down as well.
You know what does work?
What?
Sookie.
Yeah, that's a good point. Freaking hilarious comedic genius.
Yes.
Only cast high GPS. Your favorite Norwegian comedic genius. But we do see about a 70%, around 70% advantage for SDW right now. So I mean, they may be able to push into this with just about 2 minutes left on the clock. They could possibly push in, but we don't really know.
Well, Scout comes in here, pressures the medic, and they unfortunately gets taken out, but he did take down a good chunk of that medic's HP there. Crits popped for Muffins, doesn't really do anything, because mini sentries are really good at stalling things. Didn't really kill anything, but you couldn't really go past it either. It's just like really annoying. So we have a little soldier harasser on the point. He gets taken out by the mini sentry once again, hero of the hour.
Yeah, and we do see about the Uber about to be ready for AD, but right now it does seem unlikely that anything will really come out of this. We have been stalemating for a lot of this, and SCW with one more point than AD. If AD can pull this back somehow in the last minute and 30 seconds, then it will go on to the decider match, but it doesn't seem like that. SCW taking out the demo, the heavy, and the medics. Sookie trying to get behind that, or Vaet actually
look
trying to get
at the
behind.
amount of players
It's
dead.
just not enough.
Yeah, they just completely lost it, but time is running out, only a minute and 19 seconds left on the clock here.
Yeah, Muffin's very weak actually. He got to 100% crits and he was only on 10 health. So somehow, some way he got out of that and managed to survive. But again, just a minute left on the clock, and we are going to see Sookie Doin work. Maybe try for this one last push to be able to rank it up to 3-1.
Yeah, there's not a lot after I can do at this point because of the way the map works. It's kind of a slow push. You can't really really quickly cap all the points because of the cap times is the time it is. So yeah, but it looks like Sookie Doin work is just going to try and get that additional bonus point, I guess. Getting here the crits. The soldier spy coming behind gets taken out. Yep.
Yeah, we're going to see the crits. It's already faded, but I mean, if they can push in on this with just 30 seconds left, they may be able to get that one last point to make it a 3-1 win. But this is just kind of like their last push. They really don't have any more chances after this, and it doesn't seem like AD have a chance of being able to win this either. So we do see SDW trying to rotate around underneath, trying to get a bit of a sneaky underneath attack from them. And with the Uber actually almost built as well, it's just about 10 seconds left. I doubt they'll be able to get onto it. The heavy for SCW does go down. We see a crossbow bolt going into the heavy. Sookie coming up onto the medic. Nice medic pick, nice soldier pick. But the mini sentry does take him out, and that is a 2-1 win on CP Croissant and a 3-2 win on Viaduct. That is Sookie Doin work winning week 1 of Wireplay Season 10. Sookie Doin work versus After Dark. My name is Hayden, smiley face, magical killer cow, and that has been High GPS, the other caster, and the cameraman.
Yeah, thank you. So, in retrospect, this has been a very interesting match. It's been great to watch. Unfortunately, I feel that Black Bob kind of bottom fragging next to their sniper, while as Airfix was pretty high up there, so definitely like some heavy practice needs to be done, because he kind of wandered off by himself a lot, and I think that really damaged their play. Maybe like being over aggressive and stuff like that didn't really pan out too well, but definitely not a bad play. We saw a lot of Uber saw aggression at the end there. Wish we'd seen that earlier, because that could actually help a lot with the backstabs and all that. So thank you guys for watching, and goodbye.
Thank you for watching.